Dominique Strauss-Kahn dominating news coverage.
Well, the thing is that Swiss newspapers yesterday reported that Bilderberg had no power, and yet today we picked up newspapers, and the main headline was the fact that Bilderberg is choosing the new IMF head to replace Strauss-Kahn. And we showed the front page of the newspaper on our video broadcast earlier, which is on InfoWars and Prison Planet. And it's just another indication that they do have real power and they exercise it on a regular basis, much to the chagrin of debunkers who often claim otherwise. So basically, the majority of the Swiss newspapers are now reporting on it, and it's on the front page of two major Swiss newspapers that Bilderberg are deciding the new IMF head to replace Strauss-Kahn.
Now, Paul, you guys have two video cameras, two cell phone cameras. You, I guess, is Aaron jacked into Justin TV because we're not getting feeds right now?
Aaron's on his way up yet. They won't let you park near the security area. They make you park further away. Aaron's here now, and he's going to be filming more video for Justin TV.
All right, the number one thing we need before you go up the hill is for you to get up-close photos of the police and security. Or the New York Times will say again that we are literally schizophrenics. Now this is how dumb they think their readers are. That Alex Jones at an empty hotel imagining men hiding behind trees and that there's no one there. They will say there's no one there. They don't care if it's all over the Swiss papers. We've got to have photos of the cops with the submachine guns, or they'll say they don't exist. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Stay there, Watson. I'm going to talk to you off air. Okay, to be clear, our video feeds are only intermittent. We have a live Twitter feed of photos pouring in that Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com reporters Aaron Dykes and Paul Joseph Watson are getting live from Bilderberg 2011. We're getting more from Tucker, who has inside sources. It's also being confirmed by the major Swiss press, but news blackout here in the United States that the new IMF head may be from Mexico. We've got his name. Kurt Nimmo is going to get that up in the next 20 minutes. The only mega large media outlet that is alternative media but is bigger than most mainstream media is the Drudge Report. We are behind the scenes in contact with their editors. And so look for that coverage there. Breaking news. So the best place to hear the continual coverage of live radio, live video mixes, and photos will be at Infowars.com on the section that Matt Ryan is going to be continually updating. Exclusive live video and photos from Bilderberg continually updated. Why is this so important? They're so powerful. For 50 years, they kept it secret. Only the last 5 or 6 did they have to admit that it was real. And that's why this is so important. Paul Watson, give us more intel on specifically who they're looking on trying to install as the new head of the IMF, our banker owners.
There wasn't any information that I could see. Obviously, we don't read German as to who it was. But the headline was, Bilderberg to choose successor for Strauss-Kahn. And that's what we worked out from the translation, which was in the newspaper.
Yeah, well, we've got sources as well, and Kurt's translating it. Yes, it looks like they may pick. We're going to have that name and more information. Kurt gave it to me during the break, but all of this is unfolding. And what's important is they decide when the Berlin Wall goes down. They decide when to launch a new war. We've gotten their internal documents before. This is as close to the secret, smoky, New World Order mafia room as it gets. Watson, we're going to have you live with a full report coming up in an hour and a half, or about an hour and 20 minutes from now, a little bit into the third hour today via video Skype, joining us with Aaron Dykes as you collate more of this information. They'll continue to check in with you in the next 30 minutes as things develop via cell phone, and we'll continue to watch the live feeds at Infowars.com that we have embedded, but any other tidbits of intel you can relay to the worldwide listeners as you cover the Global Crime Syndicate meeting.
Yeah, we were talking to Jim Tucker, and we broadcast one of these videos on Justin TV, which should be archived, and he was relating the fact that his sources are telling him that Bilderberg is petrified about the resistance within Congress to their conquest of Libya. And, of course, we've had Rand Paul in recent weeks demanding that Obama legally justify the attack because, of course, it's gone over 60 days, which is in the War Powers Act, that's unconstitutional. So Jim Tucker says that Bilderberg are petrified of the fact that the resistance to that is building within Congress and that it may derail their plans for Libya. He also said that Bilderberg are planning a gigantic war in the Middle East, which of course would stretch beyond Libya and engulf the whole area. So that's on the agenda again.
And by the way, Jim came out 3 months before and said Bush will endorse within 6 months carbon taxes. Everybody laughed at him. Happened. Jim said the Berlin Wall will fall and called the month. Margaret Thatcher will be fired. Called it. Later she talked to him on record, said, yes, they ran me out. He really has multiple sources. I'm getting chills right now. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people steering our planet, and they are scared. They are upset by the demonstrators. They're upset by the coverage. We've got the intel streaming in from our sources right now. Paul Watson, anything else that Jim told you from his sources?
We've got this just in TV. There were numerous things, but those were the main ones. I've got Aaron Dykes here if you want to get some words from Aaron.
Yeah, let's do that. We're going to come back from break and go to Aaron in the long segment. Matt Ryan, we're going to put you on hold, Paul. Thank you. Paul Watson reporting from Switzerland and St. Moritz under police guard there, the globalist criminals, the mafia being guarded by the police from the evil media. Matt, the globalists who have put Switzerland having its sovereignty destroyed on the front burner, by the way. There's the enemy of Switzerland right there in any sovereign country. Matt Ryan, give us an update. You're going to be continually today updating, so is Kurt Nimmo, this special video page that's going to have all the archive clips and the live feeds there. One-stop shop, Infowars.com.
Yes, basically it's going to be a collaboration of all of our coverage of Bilderberg from start to finish live. Our live stream is embedded in there. We also have the Twitter feed at Real Alex Jones on Twitter. That is embedded into that page, so you can go to one page, you can get all the information, see the updates as they come out, and that'll be in addition to all of the coverage that's done by Kurt Nimmo, Paul Watson, Steve Watson, and the others.
I'm really proud of this team, Matt Ryan.
I'm proud to be part of it.
Well, you're kicking serious hind end. And Matt Ryan is also a writer for a major technology publication, but we'll be working more with him in the future in his deep investigations of Google. That is some groundbreaking bombshell info. That's coming up in the next few weeks with Matt Ryan and others here on air with us. We'll be right back with more with Matt Ryan and our reporters in Switzerland. Stay with us. Nothing can keep us at the bottom of the mountain, up on the mountain. Bilderberg Group meeting, openly getting ready for their new IMF head, openly planning a gigantic new war in the Middle East, on record fomented by Western governments, the U.S., Israel, and England, openly fomenting the Arab Spring. 2012, 2011, Bilderberg coverage, and so much is happening. Meanwhile, the news is insane, and that's all coming up with Gerald Celente later. We have the new generation of the naked body scanners. We have incredible economic news unfolding. SWAT team breaks down man's door over student loans. We have Americans being arrested everywhere for credit card debt. Debtor prisons are illegal. The Department of Education now has federalized local police that will bust down your door, and they kidnapped the guy for 6 hours over student loans. The bankers are coming. The bankers are coming. Paul Revere, 240-something years ago, said the redcoats are coming. No, ladies and gentlemen, the banksters are coming. Not your local bank, not your credit union that are real banks. The big mega global 6 banks, the big mega 5 banks in the U.S., Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan. These are people like Bank of America that control the issuance of the currency and credit worldwide, and their leaders, their heads, are meeting with royalty right now to decide the future of our world, and our brave dogged reporters, our gumshoe, straw hat reporters are on the scene. They're covering it. We're showing live video. They drove up the hill past the police checkpoints that are at the entrance and are attempting to get people shots. There is Aaron Dykes in the video that prisonplanet.tv viewers can watch. Also, we have the free video feed at Infowars.com. Embedded in the article, exclusive live video and photos from Bilderberg, continually updated right now. Get this link out to everybody. Also follow the video feeds at twitter.com/RealAlexJones. That Twitter feed is there at Infowars.com. U.S. funding for future promises lags by trillions. USA Today. OPEC. Talks break down. No deal to lift oil supply. That means oil prices will only go up. China warns U.S. debt default idea is playing with fire. Associated Press. This is red level. Reuters. Similar headline. Gold, little change after Bernanke comments. Bernanke speaks, stock market plunges. I mean, this is insane. And all over the country, every day I see articles now, arrested for debts. And then it turns out they're not even allowed to do it by law. They will announce court dates, never tell the person to be there, and then arrest them for failure to appear, and then intimidate them. There are police, they're up close to the militarized police there that are at another one of the entrances. There is the hotel where they're meeting. We take you now live to St. Moritz, Switzerland, where the crime syndicate that has engineered a global black hole of debt, 1.5 quadrillion, 1,500 trillion, impossible, hundreds of times the wealth in the world, cannot be paid back, sucking the country dry, 27 trillion, most of it went to foreign banks. As we told you for years, we were right, now admitted in the Bloomberg suit, getting the documents. Do you realize there are the criminals? There are the people openly wanting world government, openly wanting carbon taxes to shut down all their competition and selectively let GE heads who do attend these meetings be able to have the only power plants, to only let Obama supporters and globalists not have to buy the insurance. Aaron Dykes, they're reporting from Switzerland as World War III is prepared in the Middle East openly, Rand Corporation calling for it, as the dollar plunges, as they talk about dollar default, as Moody's and S&P say it may default, as everything begins to accelerate. There you are, and where is the international mainstream media? Nowhere to be seen. Swiss news with insiders reporting they're preparing to pick the new IMF head, not the governments of Europe and the U.S., but the corporate leaders. This is incredible. Aaron Dykes, I mean, I'm excited, folks. You get excited about football games, folks, in the pregame. I get excited about my children's future and identifying the globalists, because if we identify them and not their front puppets, as Brzezinski said last year, as he warned the CFR that the world was awakening, it's over. They can't commit these crimes. People are rioting worldwide, from Greece to Iceland to Portugal, to Spain, to Ireland. The Irish Times says Ireland is being conquered by private banks. We must stop the bailouts, which are, again, the bankers say they owe this. Our pension funds are all tied into it. They hold us hostage and say, give us unlimited trillions, pay us carbon taxes, or we'll destroy you. Aaron, you are there in the belly of the beast. I salute you. Tell us what's happening.
Alex, I'm here surrounded 360 degrees by the beautiful Swiss Alps, next to the biggest hotel, the Hotel Souvretta, overlooking the rest of the area here in St. Moritz. They've got private security as well as police. They said the private security's been here since yesterday, our sources tell us. They have makeshift surveillance cameras on every rooftop and sub-rooftop. They have floodlights, I guess, so they could see if anyone is sneaking around. They've got ID checkpoints, a cordon set up all around the perimeter. They've even tried to block off part of the view at the security checkpoint, where they have a trailer set up for the limos to come through, so the attendees can't be easily photographed as they come in. And it's quite a scene. We've got We Are Changers here from here in Switzerland and elsewhere in Europe. Right now there's a couple dozen. They're expecting as many as 200 to even 500 later in the week. So we'll see how that plays out. But they also say some of the attendees have already arrived. Others obviously will be coming in tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I saw some of the Maybach, Super Mercedes, and others going in. I've seen those before. They're there. And if we see diplomatic cars coming in, you know, Hillary's in Europe right now with her special friend. That's a whole other scandal. That is the wife of Wiener. So Wienergate's only the tip of the Wienergate. We've got all that happening. This is so huge. And we've got Tucker and others with inside intel. Give us some of the things that our inside sources are telling us are on the agenda. Some years, Tucker's source even sends him the internal agenda report. Get that, immediately get it out. Folks can also follow it at AmericanFreePress.net. Give us your report, Aaron.
Well, of course, a lot of it Paul Watson just relayed to you, but of course they do want a wider war, according to Tucker's sources, and it makes perfect sense. They've primed the field with the Arab Spring and the semi-nonviolent, although, of course, a lot of violence behind the scenes, kind of under the covers, the hot war in Libya, which is likely to expand further, and obviously